Hi guys, this is Kristen. I want to talk a little bit about Asperger syndrome. Please hang there with me. I'm sick. But Asperger syndrome is a lower form of autism, and I guess they're gonna change the name, just like the rank, like more functioning to less functioning. But it's originally called Asperger syndrome. One of my friends has it, and my son has it. It's, I think it's cool, personally. I don't know how it's not cool, but, some things I notice about, my son is he has a hard time sharing. He has a hard time playing with other children. When he's mad, he says that he wants us to leave and to go away and go away. What he really means is he wants to be left alone, so he needs space. He throws tantrums. They're getting better though. Certain lights bother him. He can hear them buzz. Certain sounds, too much things going on at once really bother him. He's actually, my friend, who's his father, he can't write well. He doesn't have many fine motor skills, and my son actually writes really well. And he can already spell his name, and he's only 4. Well, his nickname, which is TJ, he can already write that. He knows all his shapes. He's really intelligent. Ever since 1 year old, he knew the alphabet. He knows all his shapes. He knows, he can count pretty high. He's a really good guy. Another thing I noticed about them is they have obsessions. His father has an obsession with mowers and small engines and computers and vacuums, and my son has an obsession with fans. He loves fans and anything with wheels. He absolutely loves wheels. When he was little, that was one of his favorite words. Wheel, wheel, wheel. He loves cars. He loves, everything. He likes pinwheels. Pinwheels are nice. I bought him one of those before, at the dollar store, and it was like his favorite ever. They have a hard time verbalizing in public or just in general. They usually have one-sided conversations. Like, I'll talk to my son and be like, "Hey buddy, how are you? How are you doing?" He'll be like, "The wheels on the car go round and round." And I'll be like, "Okay, that's cool, but how are you?" And then he'll never answer you. I know that generally relationships and friendships are hard for people with Asperger's to hold. My friend and my son don't really take in consideration other people's feelings. They seem not to understand, and they never know what to say when they hurt somebody's feelings. So these are just some things about them that I've noticed. Most people with Asperger syndrome really are very smart and average. I doubt there's any people with Asperger's under average intelligence. They are very smart. With their obsessions, they're very, very intelligent and they're very smart. But they're very poor at human, relationships. Like, some people with Asperger's syndrome have relationships with just their obsession. I was reading once about this boy who was into army men, and he said, "Well, that's fine, because the army men are my friends. I don't feel like I need anybody else." And he was also diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome. Oh, they like to talk. It depends on the person. Some people with Asperger's syndrome like to talk about their interest openly. Even if people don't like it, they'll still keep talking, and they never really can tell if somebody's annoyed or bored with it. And most people with Asperger's syndrome have a hard time making eye contact. They don't really understand why they have to or think that they have to. this is most people. This is stuff that I've read before. Um, and some children, they seem like uncaring, and, putting up the cold shoulder. Like, it's not more that they're uncaring, it's more that they don't understand. They don't know how to understand, and most likely they're probably thinking. Like, if they end up breaking something of yours, and then they just stand there and stare at you, and you're gonna, say, oh, you don't care that, you broke that. That was, special to me. He's probably just gonna sit there and think, well, why are they so angry? With my son, his punishment is different than other children. Like, we have to get down to his level and say, look at me, TJ, look at me. And then we have to say what I say. And, say, would you like that if your brother did that to you? Would it hurt your heart? And that's the easiest way to get through to him. So you really have to, as a parent, do different things. I suggest parenting classes for any parent, just because there's techniques out there that everybody can use, especially with special needs children. I'm starting my class on Thursday, so. One thing I also noticed about my friend and my son is they like to lie. They really do. They lie uncontrollably about anything, make up stories to get their own way. They kind of seem like they're in this little bubble in their own little world, and they don't mean it. People need to learn about this disability or this diagnosis. I don't really consider it a disability. This diagnosis, so that way you can understand them and you can work with them, you can accept them, and either you like them or you don't. But a lot of people really aren't that nice when it comes to it. Another sign of Asperger's syndrome is gross and fine motor skills can be very undeveloped. Right now my son's in OP and PT, occupational therapy and physical therapy, which are both very beneficial for him. My friend, he wasn't diagnosed until he was much older. My son was diagnosed when he was younger because we already knew about the illness when my friend was young. It wasn't recognized, so he has a much harder time than my son does already with people and change, and that's one thing I know is change just like crazy. So most people with Asperger's syndrome or some, another trait is that rules are very important. I find that in myself, which I'm being diagnosed with some things right now, one of the things they're thinking, but they want to see me more as Asperger's syndrome, but with myself is I like to stick straight to the rules, and I've noticed that in a lot of my Asperger's friends also. A lot of people with Asperger's syndrome, such as my friend, are perfectionists. They like things done a certain way. Obsessive compulsive disorder, like things, in a certain way, set a certain way, and he's not happy and he can't sleep until it's done, and it's done a certain way. That's another trait. And people with Asperger's syndrome express their feelings differently than we would. Like my son, he will throw a fit and act angry, but he won't tell me what's wrong. I'll have to be like, TJ, you really need to come tell mommy what's wrong, because how am I supposed to know what's wrong, and how am I supposed to help you? And my friend, he likes to lie out his butt, and he'll keep everything inside until he blows up, and that's another thing that I've seen in Asperger's people. I think that if you suspect that you have Asperger's, I really recommend seeing a doctor. First start out with your primary care doctor and see if he can, find somebody. I'm trying to think of what to say. This is hard for me being out here. I would go to your primary care doctor and bring it up to him. If you suspect your child has Asperger's syndrome, or any diagnosis, that would be very, very good. Um, if you catch it early, the earlier the better. Everybody wants their child to be successful and independent when they get older and happy. And if your child has Asperger's syndrome, then you can start to make it so their life could be easier, more independent, and possibly, like, have a job. I know some people, like my friend, he has a hard time having a job or keeping a job because of his Asperger's, and it wasn't acknowledged until he was older, and he's still trying to work on things, and he's struggling. So I think that that's all I have to say about Asperger's for now. Asperger's syndrome, but I'll probably say more. So thank you for watching, and have a good day, night, afternoon, whatever it is. Thank you, bye.